Oh, what is this mess? This is something I cobbled together probably on the order of about 20 years ago. All of this was kept in a tiny middle bag, because I used to be able to get those for free real easily. Complete in the bag was an actual Dell branded slot cover, back from when computers had slot covers, just to date this a little bit more. And what we have is a set of 5, I don't know why 5, cold-cathode fluorescent lights, but these are questionable in longevity and quality, along with a power supply. Okay, so what's the deal? How, which, why, and what? These light sets we sold at Tiny Metal. They run on 12 volts. We had all different colors. To set the stage, we're talking about 20 years ago, so that would be 2004, 2005, somewhere in there. What was extremely popular back then, building your own computer. And they had all the light up fans and all the light up case lights that you could imagine. And they were there. And I got my employee discount on them. We sold ultraviolet ones, UV, quote-unquote black light ones, and they were cold cathode fluorescent black lights. So I saw those. I said, okay, I got to buy that. So I bought that. I don't remember, it was $10 or $15, and you know, I got my employee discount and that was it. But they had white ones. So I don't know if I like bought one just to see it. And then I said to myself, wow, these are awesome. I totally need that kind. So I went online, and I don't know where this is from or what the deal is, but it came with the inverter and 2 cold cathode fluorescent lights that would go in your computer case. I paid something redonkulously cheap for back in those days. Remember, 2004, 05, I might have paid $1.99, $2.49 per set. I think I bought 20 of them. Like seriously, 20 of them. Because I had a plan that was upcoming, which was to use these under the cabinets in the kitchen as under cabinet lighting. So that was the plan. They're still here, so that didn't quite work. Never quite got around to that. It came with little stick-on, peel and stick, double stick tape adhesive stuff. That one is missing, but still sticky. And probably more double stick pads that you would put on the inverters. And the way it works here is you have your standard Molex drive connector, which was popular in the day, and it's still around in some circles today. So you had all that, complete with a panel mount switch, the inverter, 2 tubes came with it that each plug in. You could plug one or the other, or both. So I said, you know, even if I just get it for the switches, or just for extra Molex like extensions, it's good. So it had a lot of use to me. At the time, you're like, I know, Jay, come on, power it up, let's see it. Yeah, we'll get there. That comes later. You got fast forward, but don't do that. At some point in my travels, when my late father-in-law was still around, we were in upstate New York. They had a trailer at a campground, and we used to stay there. Whiff and I got our own, like, tent or something, you know. And we stayed in that. They had a trailer we could rent also, which we did. And then we'd kind of play house up there, but not really. And then we'd hang out with her folks all day anyway. So I hacked together this connector, which allows me to hook up two of these, and they do not have to be connected sequentially one after the next. You'll notice both of these are male connectors. How and why I did that is, I guess, for this, so it would start like where the cabinets turn the corner and then could stretch this way and stretch that way, and maybe that's why there's 5. These are the only ones I have here in this house with me. The rest are still at my parents' house in a box somewhere that I don't think I'll ever find. These, by the way, went out of favor, of course, because cold-cathode fluorescent, can't have that. They changed them to LED. And then they had all sorts of flashy colors. It could go, you know, RGB and fade through all kinds of different colors, and LED, and that's what you can buy today. So no more cold-cathode fluorescent. But fuck that, because I still have cold-cathode fluorescent. But in that upstate New York trip, like I was talking about, there was a quote-unquote garage sale. I don't know how to explain it. And there were a number of these power supplies. There's no information. Manufactured November 2002. No idea what it's from. I guess I could scan the barcode and see maybe what it's from. I have absolutely no idea. And it says nothing. It has no brand on it. Absolutely no information. It's 100 to 240 volts AC, 50 to 60 hertz, 40 to 60 volt amps input. The output is DC 12 volts at 3 amps, which it claims is 36 watts, which is right. 12 times 3 is 36. So there. That is the power supply. There were 5 of these at that garage sale, and I bought all 5. What happened to the rest of them? I have no idea over the years. I think one died. One got put into use with something. Some got put into some other use with something else. And I don't know. All I know is this used to work. And this power supply will play a key role coming up in another video soon enough. So this one is quote-unquote capped off with just the one. I'm sure it works. We can hook all of them up later, but we're going to hook up these two. Turn off the switch, and now we can plug this together. I don't know what all this dirt is that's in there, but they've been around. So here are the two that we're going to power up. We'll get power. Yeah, there is a green light. Okay. Here we go. I don't know when these have last been powered on, but 2008 at the latest. So it's been a minute. Nice. They're dim. They sort of have a pinkish reddish glow. That's going to go away as they warm up. Camera does not make this out. They're very bright at the ends and very dull and dingy and sort of pinkish in the center. And we're just going to kind of wait and let that sort of warm up. So what I'm going to do is shut the room lights. We'll kill that. And I'll come here and shut that. And I got this other little motion light, but good enough. Yeah, the rest kind of blows out the whole thing, but maybe you can tell it's brighter there than it is there. Still very dull. Like I said, it's been a long time since these have been powered on, but the amount of brightness is certainly growing ever so slowly toward the center. So I think what we're going to do is leave this for a little bit and let it warm up, and we'll come back. Well, it's been a little while, but you can certainly tell how the centers are still kind of dim, where that's very like blown out as far as the exposure goes. And that pretty much, without blowing out, is what it looks like in real life. They're still kind of dim in the middle, but this was to be expected with cold cathode fluorescent bulbs. They had a long warm-up time, which is why they weren't liked as much. No visible flicker to me. Camera doesn't seem to be banding, so that's good. Okay, so I think we're probably in the order of close to 10 minutes, and for the most part they are uniformly bright across the board. They are just barely warm, really not hot. The edges, the ends, are a little warmer than normal, or than the rest of them, but hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and hook up another set and get those chooching as well. Get some, you know, some movement on these, and we can take this one and we'll chooch it as well. I had looped these connectors together for a damn good reason. I can't tell you what it is and why there's only one on this. It's not because the other one died. There's a damn good reason, and I think it's because it was a set that I was going to put up and in and never did. That's my best guess. So we can go ahead and hook this up over here in as well. It may also have been because this power supply can't handle any more than that. It's perfectly cool right now. That one's on. We'll kick on the... No, that was the wrong one. Duh. Well, there you go. Instant on. Kick on the single one. Yeah, see how dim that is compared to the others? It's going to take time. And these we'll put over here and kind of put that there. So this way we'll get a final cacophony of everything. And there those two lit up. You see how pink that is compared to the others? Maybe I could shut those quick. Yeah, look at how pink that is. So we'll let these cook for a while and whatever. Of course, all of this has been... Well, we'll get into that later. Let's let these cook for a bit. So I got called away for about a half hour tending to other stuff. Just barely warm. Really nothing. End of the tube's a little warmer. Because it just is. But take a look. It's that brilliant, brilliant white. Now, remember that at the time, 2004 or 5, something like that, this sort of daylight color white, or a cool white as we kind of refer to it, kind of more in that spectrum, which these are, you didn't see those. We didn't have LEDs and stuff like that like we have today, where they have, you know, cool, warm, or mixture between them. Let me put the lights back on. So my idea I think we could shut these kind of. Oh, the inverter's just a little warm. We'll leave just the one there. The idea was to put these under the cabinet, and I wanted to do that specifically because of this cool white color. I like that in certain applications, and although the kitchen is lit with incandescent, and will remain that way hopefully forever, because it's lit with incandescent, this would stand out, and I don't mind that at all. Plus, it's fluorescent, essentially, so it's not bad light like LED. But, of course, you know, this whole plan kind of got put on the back burner, and now it's been usurped by the LED strip lights that come on a roll of film now. I got a hard time. I got a hard time trying to do this. But I got a harder time trying to do this because I got to stick all that up under the cabinet. I have to worry about these wires and how to restrain them so they're not hanging down, because then it looks like shit. I need to mount up the inverters. Yeah, it's double stick tape, I get it, but I kind of want it to look like it's not there. And not for nothing, that's pretty damn easy to do with this stuff. So I don't think I'm actually going to end up implementing those, and it's kind of a shame. And if I do anything, it's probably going to be this stuff. Plus, another big reason, and as much as I even hate to say this, these are probably very hard to get, or if you can, they're old, maybe used, where this shit is going to be around for a while. So if it makes it 20 years and we don't have a new lighting technology before then, I'll still be able to get it. So I can always replace it in the event it dies. And I know I said I got a box of these if I do find it in that, but still is more cumbersome. Like, I would have to mount the these guys. The only good way, like these little shits ain't going to hold it. That ain't going to hold it. So I'd have to get one of those cable... I don't have any here. Well, there's one right here, but I can't show it to you. Cable tie-down zip tie things. It's a little square. You put... Then you can loop a cable tie through it and around that. So I'd have to use one at each end to hold it. And, of course, keep the cable tie all the way at the edge there so you don't see anything. And then those are held up by double-stick tape, so I want to get screws that are just that long so they won't poke into the cabinet. You know, so it's a very kind of flawed thing where this stuff just sticks up. And I know it's not good quality, and it might flicker and that, but I do have a good set or two of these. I know what good is with LED, and that's kind of the only ones that I end up using, but certainly this was a nice look back at cold cathode fluorescent case lights from about 20 years ago. And, you know, again, like I was saying, if these fail, another thing that I was getting at with that, you know, about not finding them, is these are cheap 2004 right smack dab in the middle of capacitor plague. So what if these fail and start all quote-unquote dropping like flies? See what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to justify putting these up if this project ever gets off the ground anyway. I think one day it will, but anyway, that's kind of that. These are just awesome anyway. And these were available in all different colors. You had green and blue and red and yellow and orange and purple, and then the UV ones, like I said before, the black light ones, stuff like that. And I probably have a couple other colors. I think I got a green one somewhere. Again, I'll never find the shit. But anyway, these were just kind of nice, and they just put out a decent light that was new for the time, that no longer really is. Just another one of the tricknologies that faded away over the years, although cold cathode bulbs, capacitor plague, and poor quality aside, can last. I have a night light. There's going to be a link in the prescription. I have a night light that's cold cathode that was so good and is still in operation for I don't know how many years now. And I have enough probably for the rest of my life. If they burn out, I have enough for the rest of my life. They were that good. And the one that I put in service is still going today, something like 13 or 15 years after I originally put it in service. Unbelievable lifespan. And that's on 24/7, 365. Okay, enough babbling bullshit with Jay. This power supply that you can't see anymore because it's too light in the foreground and not light enough in the background is gonna make an appearance in another video because I need that kind, and that will help me kind of gauge things and stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Case in point, I'm starting to smell magic smoke coming out of this one after just that amount of time. I'm not going to crack it open, but that one smells fine. That one smells fine. I was just gathering this stuff up, and I'm like, yep. Yeah, gotta be capacitor plague.